welcome to Cool That You Can Do, the show where we show you something awesome you can do every single week. I'm your host, Tristan Buckley, and in this episode, we're going to teach you how to tabletop wargame with Games Workshop games. Tabletop wargaming can be really fun. My favorite game is Lord of the Rings strategy battle game, because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and because when you set it up, it looks like this. Hi, Gandalf. In order to get figurines, you go to the Games Workshop homepage. You can choose between Warhammer, Warhammer 40,000, and Lord of the Rings. Today we're going to be working on a Warrior of Rohan. First thing you need is a working space. Make sure it's nice and secluded, or you probably will be teased for being such a nerd. You'll need a nice bright white light, a whole bunch of paints and paintbrushes, sand and flock, and a magnifying glass. Well, you don't really need this, but it does come in handy. When you get your new figure, there will be mold lines from when it was made. You can use an X-Acto knife to very carefully remove these. The first thing we're going to do with the paint is cover the figure in flat black. Make it a nice, even, thin layer. A lot of people like to work up from white, but I think that looks ridiculous. Then again, I'm not really talented at going up from white. Working up from black provides a very easy way to build up the colors and provide shadows. We're going to use the shield separately. Next, paint the base of your figure whatever color you like. I always use bestial brown. We're also going to use bestial brown for most of the figurine's clothing. After dipping the brush, wipe it off so that it's got very little of the brown left on it. This is a technique called dry brushing, and it ensures that only the highest parts of the figure will actually be touched by the paint. This creates the illusion of shadows. We're going to do this on his cape too, his green cape. We're going to use two different colors on his cape. A nice heavy dry brush of a darker green, and then after that we're going to highlight it with a lighter dry brush of the lighter green. Now we're going to start working on details. Use a very small brush for its belt. Again, I'm using bestial brown. It's important to remember when using metallic colors not to clean the brush in the same water as the other colors. They're made metallic by small flecks of metal that are in the paint, and these can float around in the water, cling to the brush, and show up in your other colors. We'll put the shield back on now, and once we've painted that, we'll be pretty close to finished. We'll dry brush the wood to give it a nice wood grain on the inside. And highlight the decorations in gold. Now when you put it on the base, you're going to use a little bit of school glue, or wood glue usually, and use a really old brush that you don't mind losing because, trust me, this will ruin your brush, to spread the glue around the base. You could also use a toothpick to do this. Then dip it in the sand. Shake off any excess, and you'll have a nice textured base. I'm putting another little dab of glue and putting some grass flock on top to give the base a little extra texture. And when you're done, it should look like this. And you're ready to play. Just repeat the process about 500 times with different figures, get a whole load of dice, and then you gotta read the rulebook. Rulebooks. All of the rulebooks. So that's all for this week's show. Be sure to subscribe so you can see next week's show, along with all the other awesome content on Buckley Brain. This is Tristan Buckley, signing off.